Hello and welcome to today's reading vlog, aka my first proper reading vlog ever. And obviously, as you can tell by the title of this video, I am going to be reading a bunch of summer romances to kind of put me in that summery mood. And those books are going to be Happy Place by Emily Henry, This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune, and The Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. I've been reading Happy Place for the last 3 days and I am a little bit over halfway. I would just like to give my thoughts before I continue and finish this book tonight because I really want to know what happens and I am very much enjoying it. This is my second Emily Henry book. I do like the little banter that's going on. I also find it interesting going back and forth in the timeline. Honestly, it's a pretty easy read so far. Keep getting this feeling when I'm reading certain scenes. I'm feeling like I'm going through a heartbreak, which means she's getting the feeling across, but there's some times when like characters will say certain things and I'm like, why did you have to say that? I'm also, to put into perspective, I am on chapter 23 and I'm about to find out about not the happy place, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna go read and I'll let you guys know my thoughts after I'm done. I mean, she called it. Wait, what? I don't understand this paragraph. Hold on. I still... Yo, I feel like when? I feel like him. I too am almost 30 and feel like I'm tripping through life. I can't with this. I need her to tell him she's not happy. She needs to be honest about her feelings. She's not happy. He doesn't know it. He doesn't know it. I wanna. Oh god, okay. It's gonna happen now. I swear to God. The way this chapter just switched up and I'm like, my tears are drying on my face. I finished it. My little bit of final thoughts is that I loved this book. It was so good. I will give my rating at the end of this video though, after I've read the other books that I plan to read this week. But I did love it, and I will say the ending, for a second there, I really didn't think this book was gonna go the way that it did, because I was like, we got like one more chapter or 2 more chapters left, like what's going on here? But also there was so many sappy little moments between each individual person in the friend group that I was like, it's getting a little repetitive. It's getting a little repetitive. It's the same thing kind of over and over again, but at the same time I know that it was needed because they all needed to communicate their feelings and stuff like that, because that was the whole point of the book, at least in my opinion. But in the meantime, I have officially picked up This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune, and I'm like 2 chapters in, and it's not that I don't like her writing or that her writing is bad. I just, there's some things where I'm like, I'm gonna be like whatever about this book possibly by the end of it. And for those that don't know, I'm Canadian, and it is weird how almost every book that I've read since the summer started have all mentioned some part of Canada, given this one is written by an actual Canadian author. But it's really weird that this is like the fifth book in a row where just Canada's mentioned. It's weird. I don't know why, but I'm gonna continue reading this book. Once I get maybe at least 100 pages in, I'll give you a better update of where I stand on how the book is going. So update, I am about 120-ish pages into the book. I realized that I said I would update you guys around the 100-page mark, and I don't know. Don't get me wrong, it's a pretty easy read, and I'm not enjoying myself. I feel like it doesn't help that I'm reading 2 books back to back that both switch between timelines. So obviously that means I'm comparing how they have been written. Something's just not fully hitting it for me right now. But I will say I do like Felix. I'm very much a fan of him and his flirtatiousness. Also, I just met Zach. He's spoken like twice or something like that, and I love him. I'm gonna continue, and hopefully I can finish this by tomorrow afternoon or something like that, so then I can start the Good Girl Complex. So I feel like I'm in some kind of weird inception, because in this book Happy Place is literally mentioned. The book I just read for this one in this exact video is mentioned in the book that I'm reading after reading it. It feels like Inception. It's really weird. Also, I'm definitely over halfway done, probably maybe like 2/3 of the way or so. I've slowly started to realize some of the stuff that's like throwing me off. One of those things being Bridget annoying me. I'm getting so frustrated at her. She's so annoying. Our main character is also kind of like a doormat because she's not communicating, and also, I'm sorry, but it shouldn't be that hard to not sleep with your best friend's brother. That's all I'm saying, just personal opinion. But I guess like that's like the thrill of this book, and I understand that, but like still. I still really like Felix though. That hasn't changed. I like him, and I really like Zach. I don't like that. finished it and I just read a chapter just now.
Imagine taking more than a week to read a book. Couldn't be me.
Yeah, I brought this book because I thought I'd be like, and then I could start the ones that I bought. Yes.
Those.
I'm going to read my Kindle and hopefully finally finish The Good Girl Complex. I have been reading this since the day that I got here on this trip. So I want to be done with this because I have a lot of other books that I really, really want to read. So this is kind of hindering that, unfortunately. Now that I have officially read all 3 of these summer romances, I figured I would give you my final thoughts and what I rated these books. Obviously, the first book being Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoy Emily Henry's writing, and the way that she writes banter is just top notch. And so as a result, I did end up giving this book a 4.5 stars. This book truly depicts what it feels like to grow up and slowly feel like you're kind of being left behind by your friends and where they are in life, and how everyone is kind of just trying to migrate their way through life and not really knowing what to do. Even just the feeling of one day being like 24/7 talking to certain friends, and then the next thing you know, you're gradually drifting apart just because life happens. And so I did really relate to that part of the book, and I also liked the way that they portrayed anxiety in this book and stuff. However, it is only a 4.5 stars just because the miscommunication and lack there of communication did kind of annoy me a little too much, and I felt like the ending resolution was a little repetitive. Please hurry up. Like, I get it, we all like want to confess like how we're feeling and stuff like that, but like I feel like I've read the same thing for the last 3 chapters. Please just get to the point. But I also know that that was a really big premise of this book, so I'm not too annoyed about it. But as a result, it did end up being a 4.5 stars, and I truly do believe to this day that if I read this book at a different point in my life, I probably would have rated it a 5 stars. This book made me cry. I'm automatically gonna give it a pretty high rating because it made me feel things. So yeah, 4.5. After reading Happy Place, I read This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune, and this one I did not enjoy as much. I think part of my issue with this book really had to come from the fact that when I was reading it, like straight from the beginning, I felt like it was giving book lovers vibes, and I had just read that book like 2 weeks prior to reading this, and I think that did kind of affect my reading experience for this book. And I don't know if this is just me that got that vibe or that feeling. Maybe it's just because I literally just read Book Lovers, but unfortunately it made it not as enjoyable. And aside from that fact, I just unfortunately was not emotionally invested. If I'm not emotionally invested, I most likely will not rate a book much higher than maybe a 3. It did get a 2.5, but that's not to say that there weren't characters in here that I really enjoyed reading. Like, for example, I think my favorite character was the male lead's best friend. However, I did find the main character as well as the main character's best friend very frustrating because they just would not communicate or talk at all, and this was annoying me. This was like, oh, I hate this character right now because why are you being like this? You are acting so stupid. But I'm not gonna say anything more except for the fact that I really did enjoy reading about Canada in this book, because in case you didn't know, I am Canadian, and I will say that did up my enjoyment of this book a little bit. I do think I might give this author another try because her writing wasn't horrible, but I'm not sure which one. So if you have a recommendation, please let me know which one I should check out. I gave this a 2.5 stars. So, oh, exclusive Indigo content. Now, based off of what I just said, if you think I didn't really enjoy that book, you're mistaken, because I really did not enjoy this book, The Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. This is my first book by Elle Kennedy, and this book took me 2 whole weeks to read, and I was reading pretty consistently. I was in Florida, I was at the beach, I'm reading this book. Oh, there's There's a business card in the book. Oops. Right off the bat, I was like, I don't think this is my kind of book. It felt like she was trying to make it seem like the two characters really relate together, but at the end of the day, their relationship was just sexual. It really just felt like it was based off of physical attraction, and that was it. I could not get attached, and I just thought the book was rather bland, which is very unfortunate because I hear a lot of great things about Elle Kennedy, and I guess I just picked the wrong book. I don't know. If there is a better book to read by her, please let me know, because I am willing to give her another chance, but I don't know. I couldn't. So as a result, I gave it a 2 stars. I personally would not recommend this book. If you recommend a different Elle Kennedy book, please let me know which one to read. But that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. With that being said, make sure to drink plenty of water, don't skip any meals, and get plenty of sleep. All things I don't do. And I will see you guys soon with a new vlog. Bye.